I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people. And I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization, but we don't know anything about it. So again, I think
That was singer Nina Simone discussing her pride in blackness, the idea that black is beauty. Yet everywhere during her time in the 1950s on TV, magazines, and billboards, across all mediums, her vision of blackness was absent. In fact, most media stereotyped and confined black culture. The very birth of animation promoted this behavior, a behavior that became so pervasive that black history cannot be separated from the black image. Jay-Z seconds this idea. In his most recent album, 444, specifically his music video, The Story of OJ, where Jay-Z argues that our perception of a post-racial world where race is not a problem, Jay-Z's last two arguments, which demonstrates the reality of the modern black experience. He argues, like I said before, that a post-racial world doesn't exist because every achievement, every accomplishment and success cannot upend the label of being black. Even the ones who have tried ultimately find themselves discussing race. Skin is black. Let's look at the context of minstrel animation. Nicholas Salmon, author of A Space Apart, Animation and the Spatial Politics of Conversion, discusses the space minstrel animation played in history. The start of animation was founded as a new technology to replace vaudeville and minstrelsy in the 1920s, as film began to become mainstream. And unlike these shows which were limited to the human physique, animation was able to exaggerate the black body in ways traditional minstrel shows could not. Salmon states, in grotesque fashion they depicted black bodies with enormous lips and eyes, mouths big enough to engulf whole watermelons, and bodies jointed so loosely that a single person could express a whole complex of syncopation. In fact, cartoon characters like Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat were based on blackface. Their white gloves stemmed from that aesthetic. Often many early animations, like 1935's Little Black Sambo, depicted plantations, jungles, and ghettos, in order to demonstrate the innate savagery that animators believed black people were born with. These stereotypes were successfully spread with the advancement of animation technology, which became cheaper to produce than paying real actors, and more entertaining as the bounds of creativity expanded. Jay-Z capitalizes on this history, depicting himself as J-Bo, a play of the stereotyped character Sambo. He also parallels himself by recreating a watermelon scene. J. Griffith Rolfelson's analysis of Mile White's From Jim Crow to Jay-Z, Race, Rap, and the Performance of Masculinity connects to reinforcement of stereotypes through animation and how it manifested itself into Jay-Z's own line of work.
You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
In many ways, this rationale makes sense, because being labeled or pigeonholed into a race often qualifies the achievements of success. The idea that race aided your achievements, thereby lessening your hard work and dedication to your craft. In a sense, connecting yourself to a race can hurt you. Often celebrities want to be considered American, not of their race. Jay-Z showcases this argument with OJ, who before his trial was notably devoid of his race. He was the first black athlete to do advertisements with RC Cola and Hertz, large brands that seldom cast black people. He lived in Brentwood, an upper-income, white neighborhood in Los Angeles. He never used his podium to speak about race, even during the years of heightened racial tension, with instances like the Rodney King beating in 1992. In every sense of his lifestyle, society viewed him as white. OJ ties his values and achievements to the individual, not the group or race, a behavior that is largely responsible for the continuation of a lack of large black success. Celebrities like him are not willing to lift others that come from that same background as him. Yet even with OJ's initial status, Jay-Z notes that success and unsuccess is not so binary. A successful black man is different from a successful man. Because of society's judgment, black people are held to a higher standard and a larger responsibility. So it is when these celebrities, or if these celebrities get in trouble or are accused of wrongdoing, that society swiftly rejects them. Jay-Z states that if you don't play by the white world's rule, then the world will eat you up and spit you out. It's this higher standard of judgment that highlights Jay-Z's main argument that black history is simply inescapable from black identity. Black celebrities are almost forced to be a representation of their race. Jay-Z's video leaves us with a bleak outlook on a falsely claimed post-racial world. Yeah, I believe that's what his intention is. It forces us to not forget or hide, but to confront our race and identity.
To be so much myself that my audiences and even people who meet me are confronted. They're confronted with what I am, inside and out, as honest as I can be. In this way, they have to see things about themselves immediately.